Screech by Taran NCT on AO3. Episode 10, Chapter 10. Okay, so if we're not going in the front door, how are we gonna do this? Uraraka asked with her head tilted. Oh, that's easy, Izuku countered. From the roof, see? He pointed to the building's schematics. There's roof access. It'll be simple to get in through there. I can't really make myself weightless long enough to scale a building, though. Uraraka tried to counter. Oh, I don't need you to. I can carry you up there. Izuku stretched his wings. Unless you weigh over 200 kilos, I can get you to the roof. I can't take you on a super long flight or anything, but a quick hop up to the roof is easy. I'm only about 50, Uraraka said. Plenty light enough to hop on a roof, Izuku confirmed. As soon as the march starts, I'm going to carry you to the roof. From there, we enter from the roof access. I'll probably be able to hear where Ida and Bakugou are once we get into the building. What do you want me to do? She asked. Izuku had to think for a moment. If we somehow manage to run into Bakugou, as unlikely as it is, I'll have to be the one fighting. Bakugou will ignore you. But if we don't run into him, I'll distract Ida, and you grab the bomb. Sound good? Yes, let's do this. Everything went according to plan. They entered from the roof's access. Ida was one floor below them, monologuing to himself. And Izuku could hear Bakugou stomping around on the first floor, screaming for Izuku to come out and fight him. Uraraka and Izuku silently crept to the room Ida was in with the bomb, and with a shared look, Uraraka ran to the bomb as Izuku intercepted Ida's mad dash to stop her. Seconds later, All Might's voice called out that the hero team won. But of course, no interaction with Bakugou could ever go that smoothly. As they were on their way down the stairs, they ran into Bakugou, who had stomped his way up. Deku, how the fuck did you get past me? I flew, Izuku answered simply. With my wings? He added, as he spreaded them a little. Useless freak, that's cheating! You're supposed to enter from the front door! He screamed. The rules simply stated the hero team needed to enter the building. Ida tried to reason. The rules never stated how they had to enter. As Bakugou growled at them, Uraraka said, Let's head back. I want to see how the other teams fight. They all started heading down the stairs, Ida and Uraraka in the lead, chatting happily, with Izuku close behind them. Don't fucking ignore me, Bakugou hissed. Looking over his shoulder, turning his head around a full 180 degrees, like an owl would, Izuku deadpanned. We're not ignoring you. We're done with the exercise. Don't talk to me like that, you freak! Bakugou shouted, and ran up to Izuku with both hands primed for explosions. Izuku dodged out of the way and ducked out of the stairwell and into the second floor. Bakugou, what are you doing? The match is over! He asked the insane teen. The match is over when you're dead, Deku, he retorted. Izuku stopped running and turned to Bakugou. Don't call me Deku. If you're not going to call me by my name, then call me Screech, but not Deku. Bakugou's response was his signature right hook that Izuku grabbed and threw over his shoulder. While both Uraraka and Ida called for Bakugou to stop attacking, Bakugou got up and went to attack Izuku again. And when it became clear that Bakugou wasn't going to stop, Izuku pulled out his staff and with a sigh of resignation, got into a defensive stance. Bakugou, you will stop this immediately, All Might's voice called out over the intercoms, which Bakugou promptly ignored. If you continue this, you will be given detention. Bakugou continued to ignore All Might, and proceeded his attack on Izuku, who had managed to dodge and block all the explosions so far, much to Bakugou's mounting frustration. I can do this all day, Bakugou, Izuku said. But you really should stop. You're already about to get detention. Bakugou growled and backed up a few steps. You know how my quirk works, right, Deku? Well, if these gauntlets were designed how I wanted them to be, they've been collecting my sweat for a good while now. Bakugou leveled a twisted smirk at Izuku. Let's see you handle this. They could all hear All Might yelling at Bakugou to stop, but that didn't make Bakugou slow down and pulling the pin of his gauntlet. Izuku only had a few seconds to think, and he realized that both Ida and Uraraka were behind him, and if he dodged, then they would be the ones to take the hit. Izuku didn't have much of a choice. He took a deep breath and let loose a screech slightly more powerful than the one from the Quirk assessment. His thinking proved to be accurate, and his screech cancelled out the explosion, keeping himself and his two classmates behind him safe from the huge explosion. However, he had miscalculated a little and had put too much force into the screech. Bakugou had been blasted back, thrown and through two walls, including the outer wall of the building. Izuku darted forward, hoping that he hadn't hurt Bakugou too badly, and when he looked out of the wall to the ground below, he saw the explosive scene starting to shakily stand. Izuku breathed a sigh of relief. He hadn't killed his former friend. Hitoshi had been watching along with the rest of the class, and when it became apparent that the situation was not going to be resolved quickly or easily by All Might, Hitoshi had sent his dad a text that there was a problem at the training grounds. His dad had replied that he was on his way. So now Hitoshi was watching with the class as Bakugou attacked Izuku, and as Izuku easily held his own. Hitoshi was extremely impressed. All those were all moves he had learned from Dad over the past few months, and his brother was killing it. He moved like the staff was an extension of his own body, and not just a big stick he had been handed 3 months ago, and wished the best of luck. As he was watching, Hitoshi realized something. He wasn't watching Midoriya Izuku fighting. He wasn't watching the boy he sparred with constantly. His moves were more fluid, more precise. The boy on the screen was not his brother. That was the experienced Vigilante Screech. This is what Izuku meant when he said that Screech was a different person. When he said he was confident as Screech. Screech was using moves he'd never seen his brother use in any of their previous sparring matches. He was fighting in a way that, well, based on moves Dad had taught, were completely new, as if tailored to fight with Bakugou. His wings constantly fluttered, adding speed to his movement and distracting his opponent, while his staff kept the attacks away from himself. And then he watched. Bakugou stepped back, said something, and Izuku's face paled. Whatever was about to happen, it was going to be big. Bakugou pulled the pin on his gauntlets, and Izuku let a loose, massive screech, one so loud that everyone in the observation room could hear it, even though the cameras didn't have audio. They watched as Bakugou's explosion was stopped, and as the force of the sound waves threw him through the walls from outside of the building. Holy shit, Kaminari whispered, breaking Hitoshi out of his stupor. Midoriya is so manly, Kirishima exclaimed. But man, Bakugou, that was not cool. As the rest of the class talked amongst themselves, and All Might ran out to see what he could salvage of the situation, while Hitoshi saw his dad arrive at the scene as well. Shouta leaned into Hitoshi. I don't think you guys ever told me Izuku was Screech. Hitoshi raised an eyebrow at Shouta. You know who Screech is? Shouta nodded. Father had been trying to capture him for the better part of 2 years. I have to hear him complain about him nearly every week. Dad has been talking about him for the past 3 years, Me and Pops already felt like we knew him before we ever met him. Hitoshi laid his head against Shota's shoulder. I've never seen him in action, though. I thought you spar with him every few days. Shouta asked, leaning his head against Hitoshi's. I spar with Midoriya Izuku. That fight, just now, that wasn't my brother. That was Screech. Shouta was both pissed off and impressed. Pissed off because he had seen the video footage, and he knew that Bakugou attacked without provocation. And since his version of the footage had audio, he heard Izuku and the other classmates try to de-escalate the situation. Impressed because, holy shit, Izuku had been holding back in his sparring matches. Shouta had never seen Screech in action. He had heard his screeches before, seen the aftermath of his fights, watched him fly away, but he had never seen him in action. He had assumed that his training matches with Izuku and Hitoshi were the extent of what the boy could do. But no, he was so much more than he had ever seen from him before. But back to what he was doing. Shouta clicked his pen and started filing out Bakugou's expulsion papers. He refused to have a student in his class who attacked a classmate after an exercise was complete, just because he was being ignored. Hey, Dad, Hitoshi said as he walked into the kitchen and got a glass of water. Is that the footage of Izuku's match? No, it's the footage of the attack after the match. Screech is a beast, huh? I thought I knew what Izuku could do, but I was wrong. Hitoshi downed half of the glass. We gotta find a way to get him to do that in practice matches. Shouta nodded. Maybe without the actual screeching, though. Nah, we got the noise-canceling headphones. We'll be fine. Hitoshi joked. With a raised eyebrow, Shouta joked. Oh, yeah, noise-canceling headphones will totally stop a sound wave strong enough to throw someone out a few walls. Hitoshi rubbed the back of his neck. Ah, yeah, guess I was thinking of Papa's quirk there for a second. He's at least as powerful as Hizashi's is. Shouta stated. Not as versatile, but that's only a part of his quirk, not the main thing. Hitoshi finished the glass of water and went to wash his glass. After watching that one-sided beatdown, I can't believe I ever managed to beat him. I told you so. Came a whisper from just outside the kitchen. Shit! Izuku! I'm gonna put a bell on you. Hitoshi exclaimed, glad he already put up his glass. He would have dropped it. Izuku huffed out a little laugh and walked up to Shouta and leaned against him. Can I watch it? You were in it. Why would you need to watch it? Shouta asked. Izuku shrugged. I've never seen myself fight before, and I know I slipped into my Screech persona. I want to give Keigo a play-by-play next time I go fly with him. I suppose you can see the fight, but it'll probably be easier to just play this for Keigo when he comes over next time. Shouta reached up and scratched Izuku's head, causing him to chirp softly and nuzzle his head closer to Shota's hand. Shouta replayed the video for his new son. Whoa, Izuku whispered. I didn't know I was that good. You could probably beat Shouta in a match, if you went all out like that. Hitoshi had walked up to Izuku and had his arms resting on his shoulder. By the way, Sho knows your Screech. Apparently Endeavor has been trying to catch you for about 2 years? Yeah, he's loud as fuck and easy to avoid. Izuku mothered, absently. I almost wish I was a real bird sometimes so I could shit on him whenever he's trying to find me. What did I say? What did I say? And I was right. I was right. I told you. I called it. I was right. I was right. Oh my god. Well, I mean, we still haven't seen the Bakugou goes to the dark side, but I could only imagine the Bakugou goes to the dark side. You know what? I'm going to chapter 11, right? Yeah. Chapter 11. I'm scrolling down a little bit, and I'm gonna read the first thing I see. All right, first thing I see. The other three stand to evacuate as the alarm said to do so, with Momo dashing off to try to organize the mess of students that had become. But Izuku had collapsed in pain, clutching his ears. Oh, oh, oh shit! Right, he has sensitive ear. Oh, that just gave me an idea. Ooh. Y'all are gonna hate me. Okay, the point again is this is an interesting chapter. Obviously, it's the aftermath of everything. It's kind of um uh, cooling down after that big pile up, right? Clearly Bakugo went overboard. He's getting expelled. I feel like this is his villain start off. Um, I definitely want to I definitely would love if Izuku was a real bird sometimes and would shit on Endeavor. We need that. We need more of that. Those who agree put in the comments an emoji of a bird. If you agree that Endeavor should be shat on by a bird. Yep. All in favor? Put the bird in the comments. I'm in favor. I'm definitely in favor. Oh, I would pay to see that shit. I would pay to see that shit. Those who would pay to see it. Front seats, you would pay to see that shit. Put money. Put money next to the bird. Or just put the money. Maybe you don't want to see it, but you'll pay for to see it. Well, actually, whatever. Point taken is, I would love to see that shit. Also, I wonder what Keigo's response to all of that's gonna be. I feel like he's gonna be a little bit concerned. He's gonna be proud. He's gonna be concerned. It's gonna be that typical of like when like you get in a fight and your big brother's like, "You won? Oh, but you did a good job. Oh, that's amazing. Wonderful. That's you could have gotten her. I'm concerned. Are you okay? But you won. Oh, I'm so proud of you. But are you okay? Kind of like concerned because like, are you okay? I'm proud of you, but like, you good, right? Like, you're good. Also, did Izuku ever end up calling his therapist? I wonder if he did. I wonder if that's two separate days. I feel like I'm getting two separate days. If you hear rustling in the background, I'm sorry. That's my cat. Storm is causing mayhem because I accidentally woke him up. That's on my bad. But, anyways, as always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.